come onto the House floor, the very first vote this man will cast in Congress is the most important vote of all. Brad Ellsworth voted for Nancy Pelosi. Larry Bucshon will not. His opponent, whose name I don't even know, and I'm politically involved, his opponent will vote for Nancy Pelosi. That's the only reason I need to vote for Larry Bucshon. One reason. One reason. Because of that first vote, they will control the votes, they will control their priorities, they will control when it comes up and how it comes up and what backyard deals are made. Larry Bucshon, I want him elected.
Wow, what an introduction. Hopefully after this you'll think of a few more reasons to vote for me other than that one vote. But I can guarantee you that he's correct, that I will not be voting for her for Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives. I am really honored to be here, and I'm humbled to be here. I feel fortunate to have won the primary on May 4th, and I really am truly humbled by where I am today in this election. I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a heart surgeon. I live down in Newburgh, outside of Evansville. I'm married. My wife, Catherine, and I have 4 children, age 17 to age 6. 17, 15, 12, and 6. We're Christians. We're Lutherans. In fact, my father-in-law is a retired Lutheran minister. We're raising our children in a Christian environment. We're proud of our family, and we are really pleased to be here in Indiana. I'm originally from Illinois, and my wife is from Wisconsin. We've been here for over 12 years, and we love Indiana. I am also a military veteran, having served in the Navy Reserve for almost 10 years. And I was proud to do that. I know what it's like to put on a uniform to represent your country. And again, all of the veterans here, I also thank you for your service. I think that's very important that people do serve their country in that capacity. And again, I was proud to put on the uniform to defend my country. Unless you've done it, it really does, you really feel it when you put the uniform on. People tell me, they say, well, Larry, why would you run for political office? You're a successful guy. You have a medical practice. You have a great family. You have a really fairly stable life. Why would you run for office? Well, what I tell them is, I'm doing this for probably a lot of the same reasons you're here in this room tonight. Because the direction that this country is taking is on a collision course with a disaster, really. It's something we can't recover from. And I believe strongly that people like myself from the private sector, who are non-political people, need to step forward and say that this is not the direction that this country needs to go in. If you want to cut it down to 3 big reasons, well, our federal government, and be honest with you, our government in general, regardless of party, has not been able to curtail the out-of-control federal spending that is putting us in a situation from which we can never recover. This administration, since they've been in power, has proposed 2 budgets, one with a $1.4 trillion deficit, the second one with a $1.6 trillion deficit, the largest in history. And you may notice that this year they're not even proposing a budget. This Congress has not proposed or passed a budget for this country for this year. That is outrageous. And that's exactly why. Exactly because they are continuing to spend money, and they are just grandfathering in their previous budget, adding to it, and they don't want us, the American people, to know. But we know. And somebody's got to do something about it. People like myself need to get elected. We need to get a different party. Why do I say this? Why I take party out of it? We need to get conservatives elected to Congress. We need people that understand that you can't run a country like this. Nobody can run their personal finances or their business finances like this. It's not sustainable. We have to change it. And there are going to be some tough decisions out there that people have to make, all of us. Not just elected officials, but everyone. We're going to have to band together, and we're going to have to say, we have to fix these problems. We cannot continue to spend money like this. Last summer, as the administration started to bail out the auto industry, one of the other things I really became concerned about, and I know you here are all concerned about it too, is the federal government right now and this administration are looking at more and more ways to control our everyday lives. They're stepping into everything. They took over one of the largest companies in the world and forced out the CEO of a private company. For the first time in the United States, that has probably ever happened, where the federal government directly has fired the CEO of a major company. Where does that type of thing stop? Does it stop with the big companies? Or is the next thing they're going to be here in Terre Haute, and they're going to be looking at local companies here and saying, well, we don't think you're doing things the way you should. We want somebody else running your company. And it will come to that, and to think that it may not is naive. This administration is about control, and that is that's really the second big reason why I'm running for office, because we need to give the government back to the American people. Take it away from bureaucrats. In the Declaration of Independence, it said there's a line about the consent of the governed, and that's what we've given them. Our ideas, we've told them where we stand, and they're not listening. And it's time we get back to people that are in the government that will listen. I can tell you, I will listen. I'm not a political person. I'm a private sector person. I believe in private sector, and I will listen to what the people in the 8th District have to say. And then, of course, the health care bill. Being a heart surgeon, the health care bill is something I know quite a bit about. The health care bill, as passed, is not really